chiropractic neurologist, Dr. Neil Gardner, Olympian, joins us now to discuss migraines, a common but often misunderstood type of headache that many may not realize they suffer from.
Wow.
Thank goodness I really don't get headaches. To be honest, I can't remember having a headache that I can say, oh, I'll go on. Let's just start there.
Sure.
The difference between, I don't have the word regular headache or a migraine headache. What's the difference?
There are several types of headaches, but...
Morning, sir, welcome.
Very good morning to you, my brother, and my sister.
All the very best. Don't stop it, man. All the very best for you and the family for the year.
Thank you very much, and to you as well. Yep. Okay, so there are many different types of headaches. The most commonly referred to one, or the one that people seek medical attention for most likely, would be the migraine type. That's because migraine headaches, and I'll just go into the qualities of the headache that makes it a migraine headache. So a migraine headache is usually on one side of the head, but it can be on both sides, but usually it at least starts on one side. It typically has a throbbing or pounding sensation with it. It may also have other sensations that are affected, like vision, smelling, feelings that may come along with it. Sometimes people can get nauseous. One of the things that make migraines so nasty is that it really is debilitating and can impact your function. Many other headaches, there are some headaches that are worse than migraine headaches.
Whoa.
You have headaches like cluster headaches.
Whoa.
You have a blood vessel on the side of your head that can pound, and you can even see it pounding. It can be very severe. The headache that oftentimes is contrasted against the migraine headache is the tension headache. And with the tension headache, it's usually on both sides of the head. It generally is not pounding. The intensity is lower, so people don't necessarily go to the doctor for that. This is the kind of headache that people just go to the drugstore and try to pick up something over the counter. But migraines are pretty serious, and people's lives can be impacted. Now, there are different phases to a migraine headache. You heard me talk about the different types of sensations and so on that may accompany it, but they happen at specific times. So you have the prodrome, then you have the aura, then you have the headache itself, and then you have the postdrome. These are the different phases. The prodrome is like the changes in mood and changes in sensations and so on that people may experience long before the headache comes on, like a day or two before the headache. Like they just start to feel a little bit off. Then the aura is just before the headache hits. It can be anywhere from 5 minutes up to an hour before the headache. With the aura, this is the one where people say they see flashes of light, or they hear ringing, or they may feel numbness or tingling in the arm, or they may have weakness, or sometimes the vomiting may occur. This is, especially for women, women are 3 times as likely to have a migraine headache than are men. So it's a 3-to-1 ratio.
Why?
Bad mind, I don't know.
I was going to sit on a stretch wheel.
I know my wife didn't hear me. We don't know why. Women, there are a lot of conditions that women seem to suffer from more than men, but migraines typically have a hormonal signature to it, and women have more likely to have hormonal fluctuations. So whether it's before their menstrual cycles or during the menstrual cycles, which is when a lot of women with migraines may have their migraines. Like 2/3 of women that have migraine headaches, they will either have it before their period start or during their period. That's the general time for it. But people wonder why it is that headaches happen in the first place, and how does a headache occur? Because the brain, I was asked outside, but does the brain not have pain fibers? How is it that the brain is going to cause pain when the brain itself, you can operate on somebody without putting them under, do a brain surgery on somebody while they're conscious. In fact, sometimes they do the surgery while they're conscious and talking to the patient to make sure that they're not cutting something they're not supposed to cut.
Wow.
And it's not painful to them. So how is it that these things are so painful? Well, the brain itself, the brain tissue itself doesn't have nerve endings or pain fibers. But there are blood vessels in the brain, and these blood vessels are wrapped with pain fibers or wrapped with nerve endings. And so let's say, for argument's sake, that you have a reduction in blood flow going to a part of the brain, which is kind of how it starts. When the blood flow is reduced, then the part of the brain that's supposed to receive that blood starts to suffer because think of it like you're drowning. So you're not getting enough oxygen to that part of the brain. So that part starts to suffer. If that part of the brain, let's say, is responsible for vision, then it will impact your vision. You will see the lights or blinkers, or not blinkers, blinky, we'll say blinky. Those are things that may happen. Now, if it is that it affects your touch sensations, then you will feel a sensation of touch that's changed. Wherever it is that part of the brain would rely on that blood flow is not getting, it will be impacted. Now, let's say now what the body does in response to that decrease in blood flow. Because that's not good for the body now triggers a response to dilate the blood vessel. And when it dilates the blood vessel, more blood flows, but then the pain fibers that wraps around the blood vessel, every time the heart beats, it goes poof, 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 and it stretches those pain fibers and now causes that pounding headache that people feel every time the heart makes a beat. They feel the intense pain. So this is kind of the mechanism for how a headache occurs. And then what's interesting to note is that when people have those little weird sensations, light changes and so on, that's not during the headache, that's before the headache. Mm-hmm. The headache happens after the body has made the adjustment to repair the blood flow issue. By the dilations. So the headache phase, the problem has already happened. The headache phase is now when the body is trying to make up for that problem. And it can be quite tremendous.
Listen, I want to talk about triggers, because one time when I get a list, I said to the doctor, someone's just go outside, go cut some grass and eat it then.
Or smoke it.
Well, no, not that type. Not that type of grass. Grass, not weed. So there are several things that can trigger migraines. For some people, it's not enough sleep.
Yes.
It's what they eat. It's if you drink. I mean, the list is endless.
No, it's not endless. There is an end to the list. But, but yes, you're absolutely correct. Now, we have to understand the difference between a cause and a trigger. Mm-hmm. So a cause is something that would allow the event to occur when it wouldn't otherwise have occurred. Right. But the trigger is something that causes it to occur because it's already likely to occur. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
So
like if I have to do dark curtains.
Yes.
If I wake up in light, I'm done.
Oh, we need to.
Is that a cause or is that a trigger?
We need to talk.
Is that a cause or a trigger?
We need to talk.
Dr. Neil, I also noticed that it seems like the folks who have a migraine headache, it seems like it stays with them for a longer time than just a regular headache.
Right. So
why?
It can stay from, one headache episode generally doesn't last super long. It may last up to 3 days or so, but they may have multiple episodes like that, even within the same day. So these people, especially some women who are going through their menstrual cycles, they suffer. They have to curl up in a corner like a ball with all the lights off, no sound. They have to just reduce all sensory input. Nobody not touch them, not talk to them, nothing. They just have to sit there quietly and just let it pass. So the good news about headaches is this. The vast majority of headaches are actually not caused by a head problem, but they're caused by a neck problem. You want to say that one more time? Mm-hmm. The vast majority of headaches are actually caused by a neck problem.
What kind of neck problem?
All right. Now, let's say you've had a whiplash injury, for example. And it doesn't have to be a whiplash injury from a car. If somebody ramp with you and jump on your back and suddenly jerk, that can cause a whiplash injury. And the pain doesn't have to start right away. The injury could just be enough to disrupt the proper alignment of the bones in your spine where the nerves of the neck come out. Now, when we talk about the migraines, there are two general areas that migraines will originate from. Either a central cause, which is from the brain itself, or a peripheral cause, which is from either what's called the trigeminal nerve, which is a nerve that runs to give sensation to the face, or from the upper part of the cervical spine, which is the neck. The good news, like I said, is that the neck is the most common cause. I would say more than 80% of people with headaches is caused by a neck issue that we as chiropractors can actually correct so that they no longer have headaches. I've had people suffering for years. I had this one person, and I'll share this last story here. He's 59-year-old. He started having headaches at 9 years old. And he said to me, I've had a headache every single day since I was 9 years old.
Oh,
wow.
And I said, every day? He said, every single day. We started treating him after his first adjustment. Said, what kind of OB is this? I said, what happened? But I don't feel the headache. The next time he came back for his next visit, still not no headache. And this continued until he...
What was the issue?
The neck. We just realigned the neck and the headache trigger went away.
Wow.
Right. Good to see you.
You have an
Pleasure is
event?
mine. If I have any?
You said you had an event?
Oh,
Yes,
yes, that's
quickly.
right.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, we have... So we currently, my wife and I, we have a micro resort that we own called Mountain Peace in the hills of St. Mary. And each month we have a small group health coaching session that we do. So at the end of this month, February 28th to March 2nd, on the weekend, the last weekend, we have one of these events. So persons can reach out to us by calling 876-497-2044 or 497-2055, and somebody will be able to give you more information, or you can just check us out on Instagram or social media at Mountain Peace JA. That's our handle, Mountain Peace JA, or the website, mountainpeaceja.com.
Blessings and love, my little brother. Chiropractic neurologist, Dr. Neil Gardner. 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.
After the break, we speak with the winners of the JN Foundation's Photo Advocacy Competition.
Soon come. Right.